Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Deus Ex Human Revolution. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're supposed to join me today in the middle of chairs, in the middle of an office, and reading some emails. This computer doesn't have emails. I mean, it does, but it has an email that we don't like, because it's just codes. We don't need codes, we hack all the codes. And this guy right here is a pain in the royal buttocks. And in my buttocks as well. Wasn't there? Yeah, there's a machine pistol over here. I took care of that computer already, right? Yeah, I think so. So we don't need to do much. We do have some people going around, and we're gonna need to be careful about that. Heavy rifle, and we got some computers that aren't computers around here. And credit chips and some software. Wait a minute. Oh, right. Okay. Take all works. That was a good haul right there. Pretty great. Now, I'm not sure where these two fellas are. I can see them in the mini-map. Naturally, they're somewhere over there. But what exactly does that mean? Are they inside this room? Are they going to betray me like the other guy betrayed me? I don't think so. I think we're going to be alright. This needs to be hacked. Actually, it They didn't say anything about me closing that door. So I don't know. An EMP grenade. The game is telling me things with these EMP grenades. What is that? Vodka? Yeah, we don't need it. I'm just gonna take the EMP grenade instead. Okay. Okay, so I hope I don't get seen while I'm hacking this or after I'm done hacking, because there's going to be emails in here, and it's a easy hack, so we're not really in any danger or anything. I mean, we are in a little bit of danger, but it's going to take so long for it to get to me, even if I get detected. 22 seconds, plenty of time. There's things in front of my stuff.
Access granted.
We got some more software. Taggart situation high. We finally got personal vids of the guy who claims he can expose Taggart's ties to extremist anti-AUG groups. They had trouble, quote, acquiring, unquote, them. We'll need Brian to start working on the composites and 3D models. I want people to know that this guy has no credibility before he even reaches a TV station. We have to support Taggart's, quote, hope of a peaceful resolution, unquote, angle. So what do you think? We have him doing a home porno, or we go for the racist drug-induced violent episode? Question mark. I need your input. Eugene Franca. It's kind of interesting. It very much in line with what I was talking about last episode and for the last couple of episodes. This is not how it works in real life. Although it is also how it works to some extent. But when you have money, you don't need to make this. You can always come up with data on people. It's called, I say data, but you know, dirt. That's the word that I was looking for, actually. It's called opposition research. Although it's only called that in a political setting, political environment, not necessarily in this sort of stuff. In this sort of stuff, you just go for Facebook posts or Twitter posts and stuff, and that's it. You'll always find something. Always find something. The people that agree with you will disagree with, and then it's good. Now, naturally, the other people that don't agree with you already, they're gonna agree with whatever you find, or maybe it depends. But yeah, it depends. It has some limitations. This is just a short message to congratulate everyone on, what is that? Oh, that's vodka up there. Everyone on the handling of the Washington hearings, and we read that already in another computer because that is a company-wide message as far as I can tell. Have you seen the guy from HR? Peter something. Anyway, oh my god, have you seen the ass on that baby? Mummy-like. Seriously, I would cook those buns good. Eh? And that is that. Through company email. That's how people do the naughty talks. That's how they do. Instead, they send an email to each other. Okay, that robot scared me for a little bit, but it's fine. This is the 0101 that we are absolutely not gonna need, unless we are gonna need, because we did need something like that once. Are we gonna be good here? Nope. Nuke.
Access granted.
Okay. I always have to think about what the nuke symbol is, because, you know, to me personally, the most important aspect of nuke, in a way, isn't the fact that it is radioactive. It is the fact that it stops things. So, for the nuke symbol to be right next to the stop button, and the stop button for it to be just an open palm facing you. Rapid reload, revolver ammo. It's gonna be revolver stuff, isn't it? You got credits, though. Let's see what that does. Drop the sniper. And we're good. Okay, so what is this? Where does this go? Combine with rocket launcher or pistol. Pistol it is, because that's our secret weapon, in case we need a secret weapon. That isn't very secret. Also, I missed that before. And we have a computer over here. About Robert, you were right. I think he could become a liability. For some strange reason, he suddenly developed a conscience about what we do here. I don't know what to do. He's a good guy, and I don't want anything bad to happen to him, but I felt I needed to report this. Stella. This is getting... This is going to... It's getting... Oh my god. It's getting to a level of just... cartoon level of villains. I wish it weren't like that. I wish it weren't like that, because it makes... I mean... come on. It makes for better... Not only does it make for, you know, a better story for, you know, or your villain to not be a comic book villain. I mean, not that comic book villains... Not that comic book villains aren't good, and and not that they can't tell... I mean, not necessarily, anyway. And not that they can tell serious stories. But there's a level of abstraction when you go for Lex Luthor and what it represents. I have no idea who Lex Luthor is, because I don't read comic books. Yeah, there's a level of abstraction you need to come up with, because it isn't about just the superpowers that they have. Because, you know, it's about it's about the how. And these guys, they are doing the how wrong. They're doing the how wrong, is what I keep telling. That's not how they do it. That's not how anybody would do it. Having people who are conscious of their evilness. That's like in a big organization. They're not conscious of their evilness. I mean, some people might be. Or parts of it anyway, parts of their evilness. 'Cause those are the real questions. Those are the questions that are interesting. Oof. You nuke that. And that. I will collect all the things.
Access granted.
Yeah. Those are... Ooh. No? Oh, yes. And we hack that very well. We've not been very lucky with the hackings. I mean, it's totally fine. I am running with 0 stealth upgrades on hacking. Somehow I remember there being a little bit more... Oh. Almost screwed up.
Access granted.
I remember there being a little bit more tactical things in those mini games. I still like them. I like them. They're fun. But what do we have over here? Blood on the Snow. The Canadian Parliament's inaction of the... That's inaction, not inaction. So it means the making sure that it happens rather than the opposite of that. English is funny in that particular one word. Anyway, the Canadian Parliament's inaction of the radical Paulson program. Oh, wait a minute. That's not capital R. That's capital P for Paulson program. They're saying that the Paulson program is radical. It's not the Paulson that is radical. Either way, in 2017 created what some observers described as the largest shift in military capacity seen on the North American continent since the last century. Over the next 5 years, a gradual strengthening of Canada's borders and its overt military capacity in the face of economic pressure from its southern neighbor led to the virtual fortification of the country. However, the tide of migrants from the United States displaced by economic collapse continue to grow, and these illegal immigrants, nicknamed snowbacks, this is just, oh my god, became a major issue for cities along the border. This is just distasteful, honestly, for just on the face of it. But let's put aside the distastefulness, because that doesn't really matter for a more actual analysis of what this is going. First off, that over there is a reference to the expression, I believe, wetbacks. I believe that's what it is. I don't know the expression very well, so I might be wrong, but it denotes immigrants from Central America and from South America coming into the United States through their southern border. And it's kind of interesting that it first off, it wouldn't be the biggest military change since last. Wait, how did you put it? The largest shift in military capacity seen on North American continent since the last century. Okay, so it's in this century, right? Because that's what you mean. It's since the last century. It means that, since 2001 and forward, because it's in this century, right? But it's still Canada's military capacity is a pittance in comparison to the U.S. The U.S. dwarfs every country. In fact, the U.S. military capacity is larger than the next 10 biggest military countries put together. It's not, of course, they're the strongest, but they're also bigger than the other 10 all put together. So I find that hard to believe. But the more importantly here is the complete, it would be okay. It would still be a little bit distasteful and also missing the context. But it would be okay if they didn't include the nickname over there for the snowbacks. But it's the complete misunderstanding of why the U.S. fights against, historically anyway, fights against immigration. And when I say U.S., I mean just as a country, not as the individual people, because some people do, other people don't. It doesn't matter. The point is why the U.S. fights against immigration coming from South America and from Central America, because of the interaction with racism that is connected to that fight, and Canada is the opposite. Canada isn't the opposite in the sense that it can't have that racism aspect, and it certainly in this case over here it's that it can't have the economic. I was gonna say the economic advantage, but it isn't. It isn't the economic advantage. The people coming in to your country are better for your economy, and in fact, you can see that in specifically southern states, and the interaction between company owners and how they. I'm not gonna generalize, but there's it's very often that the people who employ illegal immigrants will be the ones advocating for them not to be in the country while still employing illegal immigrants. The benefit of I say the benefit with it's important to know what I'm talking about here. The advantages of employing an illegal immigrant are really, really big. When you compare them to employing the same people if they were legal. And that comes from the tax that you avoid. That comes from the fact that you can exploit them a lot harder because they are illegally, and that's why programs like DACA and the Dreamers program and other stuff in the U.S. Obviously, that was created. So I think the Dreamers one was created after this game was released, but still, that's what programs like that aim to correct. Is although you can argue about the efficiency of that correction, but still, that's what they aim to correct, is that people with money are a lot, that they have a huge incentive to employ these illegal immigrants, and so because of that they have a huge incentive to make sure that these immigrants continue to be illegal. It isn't about preventing them from coming into your country. It is about, because you can't really, but it is about making sure that they don't have rights while they're in your country. And for Canada, it's the same thing. It doesn't change, especially when they come from economic collapse, which is usually, although probably not always, but anyway, it's usually when people are the most vulnerable. It's not always, because there's a lot of historical precedent for people that are more well off to be the ones to migrate to other countries. That happened. It depends on what kind of economic collapse we're talking about here, and how we're putting it. But the point is, it's just the interaction between race. It just misses the interaction for racism. and it overtly references it. I mean, from a video game perspective, not necessarily in the text of the game, because this isn't a racist term. It was this charged political environment that would lead to a bloody skirmish when, in the winter of 2020, officers of the RCMP used lethal force to deter a horde of American economic refugees from crossing the Montana/British Columbia border near the town of Roosevelt. Yeah. Interesting. We're not really given... Huh. That's weird. This is where we came... No, this is not where we came from. This is where we've been, but it isn't where we came from. That's weird. The game doesn't really paint the US as in a state of economic collapse. It paints Detroit in a state of economic collapse. But for it to be... Was it... Like, my question is... Was that supposed to be the whole US? And what do you mean economic collapse? Because... Well, whose economic collapse? Like... Today, as a time of recording, we have economic refugees, in a way. Did they call it economic migrants? Whatever. We have people leaving the US because of economic reasons. Let's see. Okay, so, and we got a new thing. But it just happens because the collapse is localized. People who, I don't know, medical bankruptcy is a huge problem. And of course, homelessness is a huge problem. And I'm talking like present day, real life, not in the video game. But in the video game, for it to be the economic collapse, it's weird. It's just weird because the people who usually when the economies collapse, that's why I was saying that it's not always the people who are at most who have the biggest disadvantages that are the first to migrate. Usually it's the opposite. Usually are the people who are the most well off that can migrate. Not that they don't lose everything or they don't lose a lot, but for you to still be able to ditch your roots and leave, that is, despite it being a tremendously difficult thing to do, and I'm not trying to say that every immigrant in the world is it's easy, or you had it easy or anything like that, but it is the case that a lot of people simply cannot leave the place they are born in or the place that they're living in right now, either because of family pressures, or because they do have people to look after, or just because they don't have the means. And people, obviously migration is a huge problem and has always been a huge problem throughout history, in regards to people being exploited for that chance of a better life elsewhere. And that's where you see the most, where people who actually have the money to just buy a plane ticket and get off, they do that, or they can do that. Where people who don't, they need to buy a plane ticket through other means, and then end up either, but their best hope. Ooh, pocket secretary over here. Yeah. Their best hope is that they actually end up in the country that they're trying to go in, but that's how you get human trafficking and other stuff, which is one of the reasons why measures against free movement of people are always so humanitarian. They always have a humanitarian aspect to them, which is just bad. It's a bad aspect because there's going to be human trafficking because of that. Any sort of prohibition always has that, no matter what kind of prohibition it is. So we got what is this? Please be advised, your computer login and password will become invalid within 2 working days. Please select new codes. And I did this just 3 weeks ago, but you don't know how to write, and I don't need your codes, although I just got them. Okay, moving on. I suppose. And there's still these 2 jumps. I think they're there. I can just do this jump. Nope, they don't show up over there. Let's see what we have over here. No code found. Is it a difficult hack? It is a medium hack. It's a 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5. It's just one of those things. It's gonna be a difficult one. Ooh, okay. It is an easy one. Got lucky, though. And there we go.
Access granted.
For 200 million. Very nice. I'm just gonna open this door. It's really difficult to gauge distances now with this mini-map. And I'm pretty sure... Oh, these guys might be inside the room. Also, is that an elevator? They're definitely inside the room. Is that where I need to go? I think it's flashing at me. Man down, merciful. It said alarmed, and I have no idea why it said alarmed. I don't like that. Okay. Camera detected me. That's just how it goes sometimes. We are already running with a camera that didn't detect me. Or that detected a prisoner. Or prisoner? Not a prisoner. A person I knocked out. We got a suspicious going. Yeah, the camera is detecting me. I can hack this. I can actually... Ooh, look at that. Reset. Hack. Interesting. Interesting. I'd never seen that screen. What a weird screen. I'd like to have analyzed it a little bit better. But I didn't do that.
Access granted.
Okay, deactivate that. It says it's hostile, but it's green. Weird. What do we have over here? Revolver ammo. Yeah, can you imagine not having found these drawers? Because, you know, I can. I'm pretty sure I must have played the game once or twice without actually doing that. How do I... Oh, come on, shut up. You think Ricky's idea will work, it says. Okay, that alarm is disabled. And this over here. Hello all. Due to various incidents in the past few months, we have restricted the electronic messaging to internal transfer only. Anyone with a Picus confidential address will only be able to send messages within the Picus confidential mailing servers. And then we have over here, Sup Steve, listen, editors asked me to review your stuff about the Second World Enhanced games. You're new here, so don't take it personally. We all go through it. You have to remember to phrase things to make the context work for you and better support your point of view. For instance, I changed. Former or non-augmented athletes have diverging opinion towards augmented sports or athletes, but the public seems to enjoy the new promises of intensity and excitement offered by augmented disciplines. Still, the preparation for the upcoming Second World Enhanced games are well underway. And then it changed. It's not hard to feel a touch of bitterness when asking former or non-augmented athletes about their various opinions towards augmented sports or athletes. My God, can you learn how to write at all? I'm not even gonna give you the chance to. So many freaking repeated words in the same freaking sentence. I hate it so much. That was bad. Also, that's not how you do. I mean, that is how you do. What's the word? There's a word for it that I'm looking for. Propaganda. Yeah, we'll go for it. That's not the word that I was looking for, but whatever. That's not how you do propaganda. You do propaganda by a continuous shaping of the news that you talk about. You don't say bad things about the black person that committed a crime. You report more crimes done by black people than you do by white people.
Access granted.
Since we're talking about the US. And that's how you shape the perception of the public. And even though they commit about the same per capita, you make it show that they don't. So, or don't make it show. You never do, because it's just about the perception. Dwayne is no longer with us. He was caught stealing from petty cash. Capital P, capital C. How dare you do this? How dare you steal from capital P, capital C? What is even this over here? Oh, it's not. Oh, this is where the robots came from. Right. Keep forgetting. Keep forgetting. Those are not elevators, Colonel. They're not elevators. They're robot bays. And they're very scary when you trigger an alarm right in front of a robot bay. Oh, that's where I'm supposed to go. I think. Oh, no, it is not. That's where I'm supposed to go. The quest marker is changing places. As we know, it does. But there's nobody here, so we're going to be totally alright. Another code over here. And then that's that, and that's that. We're going to go up here immediately. Because that way we can exit as soon as we want to. Which is going to be now.
Access granted.
And we got a nuke virus from that. The alarm, coincidentally, stopped blaring. Which is totally fine and unrelated. And we're done with the episode as well, because we're out of time for the day. So for right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Deus Ex Human Revolution. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment. Like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.